Hey, how you guys doing? I'm feeling a lot better today. I did a couple things differently on my second day of the detox. One, I allowed myself more carbs. I found that yesterday taking in only 5 carbohydrates, 4.8 carbohydrates, really got me depressed. I mean, it was a vicious depressing. And one of the things I didn't want to do is I didn't want that depression cycle to stay with me the entire day. So I upped my carbs. I think I took in something like 70 carbs the second day. It's day 3 now. Haven't ate anything yet today. First day I wrecked in something like 1,700 calories. Today I'd go and guesstimate I wrecked in about 1,800 to 1,900 calories. It was 70 carbs. You might say, well, this is how a normal person eats. Well, I'm probably on a caloric intake of 3,400, somewhere in that ballpark, sitting stationary. So, yeah, that with the 2-mile walks, I figure the 2-mile walk for me could burn upwards of 200 calories, somewhere in that ballpark. So, yeah, that can't be that bad. So, yeah, so that gives me a pretty healthy 1,500 to 1,600 a day calorie deficiency. So, with that being said, every 3 days that I eat like that, I should lose a little over a pound. But today's going to be a kind of unique day. Now I'll talk about some other things going on in my life, but I'll tell you that in a bit. We'll talk about something a little different today. Online dating. As my health continually increases, my confidence continually increases. And generally, this is where I usually mess up. I start looking for dating sites again. And regardless of how your life is, everybody doesn't want to be lonely. And currently I've been single for 7 months. So yeah, it is what it is. Everybody wants to feel desired. But I want to talk a little bit about online dating and my experiences with it. A little bit is negative, but stick with me. Plenty of Fish. It's a website that I frequent. I've been using Plenty of Fish for about 10 years now, since the age of 18. I didn't get my first message replied to until I was 21. And since then, in 10 years, I've gotten 11, maybe 13 girls to respond to me. So on the average response time, about a girl and a half a year. Or probably less than that. I'm just going to say it's a girl and a half a year. So some years I might get 2, some years I might get 1, some years I might get none. And I was talking about the dating world as a whole. From my experience of 10 years, Plenty of Fish doesn't really work. I've had 2 relationships come out of it. But both of those relationships messaged me first, and it kind of went from there. Every person I've ever messaged beforehand never worked out. And so you start doing things differently. Like you start looking into other people that actually went to the site and did research. Well, I've looked up a couple of these sites, and it seems like if you're a moderately attractive female, on the scale of 1 to 10, let's say you're a 6, you're above average. 5 is average, 6 is above average. Say you're a 6. You get upwards of 50 messages a day. And a lot of it's by guys that can barely type. I mean, I'm by no means English genius, but I can put words together that can construct something that looks like a sentence. I mean, I don't type in leet speak. And it's kind of disheartening in that way. It's like, how do you find somebody when there's such a high demand? And like, the smart person tells me this: you go to a site that pays money. But what if you don't want to go to a site that pays money, like something like Harmony or something like that? Because if a female is more likely to pay money, she's more likely actually looking for someone to date, because you have to kind of dodge the real problem child with online dating. And you know, some of you guys there might not use online dating. Some of you might be getting to the age where you think like, man, maybe I should try online dating. There's one big thing that's a problem with online dating, especially Plenty of Fish, and that is that it is free. Since Plenty of Fish is a free online dating service, you pretty much get what I like to call girls looking for attention. Well, I don't like to call it, it's what it is. You find girls that obviously shouldn't be there, posting profiles of pictures that obviously are flattering to get the responses for them. It's like an ego boost, and you have to kind of avoid that. And because if you know a girl that's a 6 gets 40 to 50 messages a day, a girl that's an 8 probably gets somewhere along the lines of a couple hundred. I know my last girlfriend, her name was Brandy. I had a chance to look at her profile, and from the time she messaged me till the time we broke up, or last time I looked at it before we broke up, and we broke up on just life standards. We didn't break up. Things happened in life that we couldn't spend a lot of time together, each other, and we just kind of went our separate ways toward the end there. But by the time there, she got something like, and this is a 6-month period, she got something along the lines of 850 messages. And Brandy is a cute girl, but she's by no means an 8. I hope she doesn't hear that. But you know, realistic standards, what is an 8? An 8's like somebody on TV, a supermodel of some sort. Brandy is an above average, good looking woman. And she gets 850 messages in 6 months. I looked at that, I'm like, I've gotten like 10 messages in 10 years. And like, I don't consider myself a bad looking dude. I mean, obviously I'm a stereotypical poster child for a neck beard. I mean, I got a beard that's out of control, and I'm overweight. I'm a typical neck beard. But I carry it well. I do, and I don't have the worst personality in the world. I actually have a superpower that I'm very likable. And with that being said, the struggle is real. I'm just honest, the struggle is real. And I don't know, I just wanted to comment on internet dating to see how many of you guys or girls out there have had to deal with this. I'd like to see your response with some of the internet dating things. Because it's a world that I'm scared to jump back into, because I know it's just going to lead with a lot of profile looking and a lot of heartache. In my lifespan, I've been an advocate. I'm going to finish my walk now. I'll see you guys in a bit. Of not knowing what I have until I lose it. And I think a lot of that's changing. Like, I started thinking the other day on my walk on the way back home, how I always told myself how I couldn't do things, and then look at the things I actually have. I think the turnaround period in my life was getting MRSA, and like, I know it's a little early to be celebrating, but if I have to pinpoint the mindset change, it happened August or September of 2013. Up at that point, 2013 had been the worst year of my life. And lots of bad things happened during that period of time. So, oh, there's a car coming. So, I got MRSA, and I lost the ability to walk for a while. It was like 3 days. Because where the MRSA infection was at, it left a huge sore, and it weighed something like 4 pounds of infection. If you really care about watching it, I have a video up that's age-gated over the elective surgery I had. And, well, I lost the ability to walk for about 3 days. I could actually walk, but it hurt so much that it didn't. And so that lack of mobility made me think about where I was at in life. And at that point, I was 440 pounds. And then shortly after that, obviously a guy named Kyle and his friend Kitty stepped in to try to help push me forward. And then donations got me to meet Drew, which was a personal trainer of mine. And then after flaking out and failing with Drew, I was sitting at a low point in my life, and I decided, changing your stuff starts with you. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm losing inches, and like, you can't really tell, but the shirts are getting really loose, and like, I'm losing weight, and I don't know, I just feel good, dude. I honestly do. I mean, I was really depressed yesterday, and a lot of that came strictly from the diet. I mean, it was my brain's way of trying to make me go back to those comfort foods, and I refused to do it. I think yesterday was a sincere victory for me. I gave in some. I increased the carbohydrates, but I intended to increase the carbohydrates anyway, and I chose not to feel that way, because a perfect detox doesn't have to be perfect. And for all of you out there that's walking with me, that are watching these videos and using these motivation to walk yourself, whatever it might be, whatever weight, whatever level of fitness you are, I can tell you this: today's walk was easier than yesterday's, because today's walk, I was happy, I was listening to music, I was feeling good about myself. Where yesterday, the walk couldn't end fast enough, because it felt like I was walking 100 miles compared to 2.2. Choose happiness, dude. So live life for today. You are not promised tomorrow.